Hello guys, hello friends, hello sisters and brothers. Welcome to our YouTube channel. ഇന്നത്തെ വീഡിയോയിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തിയിരിക്കുന്നത് തീം ദ കോൺസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യ, ബേസിക് ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ്, എലക്ഷൻസ് ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യ, ലൊക്കേറ്റിംഗ് പ്ലേസസ് ഓൺ ദ എർത്ത്, വെദർ ആൻഡ് ക്ലൈമറ്റ്. ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഈ വീഡിയോ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ തീർച്ചയായും സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യാനും ഒപ്പം ഒരു ലൈക്ക് തരാനും നിങ്ങളോട് റിക്വസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതുപോലെ മറ്റുള്ളവരിലേക്ക് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാനും നിങ്ങളോട് ഞങ്ങൾ റിക്വസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. ആദ്യമായി നമുക്ക് എലക്ഷൻസ് ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യ, ഇന്ത്യയിലെ ഇലക്ഷനെ കുറിച്ചും അതിൻ്റെ വിശകലനങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ചും ക്ലാസ്സിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു തരാം. തീം ദ കോൺസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യ, ബേസിക് ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ്, എലക്ഷൻസ് ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യ, ലെസൺ ഒബ്ജectives. Students and learners will be able to understand how a democracy functions, know the importance of voting in democracy, realize the advantages of democratic form of government. In the democratic form of government that we have, people choose representatives to form the government. The process of electing the leader is known as election. Why is it important to vote? It is important to cast our vote during elections. The main reasons for this are as follows. It is our right and we must exercise it. Democracy depends upon it. If we are not happy with the government, we can vote against it. Every vote counts. If we do not cast our vote, the wrong persons may get elected and form a government. This will harm our country. Let us now understand the process of election. Political parties. India has a large number of political parties. Some of these are national parties, while others are regional parties. Some independent candidates also stand for elections. Every political party and independent candidates have their own symbols. India has a large population. A section of this population cannot read or write. Symbols which are easy to remember help people to identify the political party which they represent. Think and answer. Suppose you are going to form a political party, what would be your party symbol? Explain why you choose the symbol. Elections. The Election Commission announces the elections in India. It also conducts the elections. Constituencies. Since India is a large country, it is divided into small areas for election purposes. These small areas are called constituencies. Nominations. Political parties nominate or select candidates to represent them in each constituency. These names are given to the Election Commission. Campaigning. Campaigning is an integral part of elections. Candidates with the support of political parties ask people to vote for. They put up posters, advertisements, give speeches and hold meetings. Campaigning has to stop 48 hours before the election so that people have time to think and vote for the right candidate. Discuss. Think and discuss the following. Name a few political parties of India. Why is campaigning stopped 48 hours before the election, casting the ballot. On the day of election, people go to polling booths that are put up in different places to cast their vote. Nowadays, electronic voting machines (EVMs) are used for casting votes. These machines have symbols next to the names of the candidates. A person can cast his or her vote only if his/her name is in the electoral rolls. Did you know? A black ink which remains for a long time is used to mark the voter's fingernail before casting the vote. This ensures that the same person does not cast his or her vote multiple times. Secret ballot. No one gets to know whom a person has voted for before because it is done through a secret ballot. This makes it possible for a person to cast the vote without fear or pressure from others. Counting of votes. After the election is over, votes are counted. The candidate who gets the maximum votes from a constituency wins. The candidate who wins represents that particular constituency till the next selection. Formation of the government. The party that wins the maximum seats forms of the government. The other elected members form the opposition. All the elected members to the parliament are known as members of parliament, MP. Sometimes no single party wins a majority of seats. In such a situation, a coalition government is formed. In a coalition government, two or more parties join to form the government. In India, elections are held once in every 5 years. However, if people lose confidence in the government and a no confidence motion is passed in the parliament against them, elections are held before the 5-year term. Therefore, we say that democracy is a form of government of the people, by the people, for the people. Do and learn. Acquire knowledge through books or the internet about different types of governments in the world. Responsibilities of a good citizen. We live in a society and are a part of it. Whatever happens in the society affects us. Therefore, it is important for us to make sure that we carry out our duties as responsible citizens. Some of our responsibilities are as follows. We must respect our country and take pride in being a citizen of it. We must always be loyal to our country. We must cast our vote. We must protect the environment and resources of our country. We must respect each other. We must respect public property. We must follow rules and laws. We must keep our surroundings clean. We must believe in the dignity of labor. We must be compassionate. Vocabulary. Please learn and teach with your friends. Ballot. The process of voting secretly to choose a candidate in an election. Democracy. A system of government in which people vote in elections to choose the people who will govern them. Dictatorship. Government by someone who takes power by force and does not allow elections. Monarchy. A type of government in which a country is ruled by a king or a queen. Nomination. An official suggestion that selects a candidate to represent a political party in a constituency. Oligarchy. A country governed by small group of people. Evaluation. Why is it important to cast vote? Explain the term constituency. Who forms the opposition? What is a coalition government? How can a government be changed during its term? Mention 3 responsibilities of a good citizen. Life skills, interpersonal skills and leadership qualities. Hold an election for a class leader. Follow the election procedure. Integration with an art and language. Put up interesting posters with catchy slogans around the school on the responsibilities of a good citizen. Theme: the Earth, its geographical features. Locating places on the Earth. Lesson objectives: students will be able to understand lines of latitude and longitude, locate places on the map, understand climate and time zones. Taking off. Share your thoughts on the following. Do you enjoy finding countries on the map or the globe? Have you ever wondered how and why different countries have different time zones or climate? In the beginning, it was believed that the earth was flat. Pythagoras, a Greek philosopher, declared in the 6th century BCE that the earth is round. However, no one believed him. Later, it has been proved that the earth is spherical. Did you know? Ferdinand Magellan sailed around the earth in the 16th century, thus proving that the earth is spherical. The globe is a representation of the earth on a small scale. It gives us an idea of the size of continents and oceans and their position on the earth. Parallels of the latitude. The rotation of the earth shows 2 fixed points where the imaginary axis of the earth ends. They are the North Pole and South Pole. The equator, which is numbered at 0 degree, is an imaginary line which divides the earth into 2 equal halves, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. The equator is called the Great Circle. Parallels of latitude are the imaginary lines that run parallel to the equator in an east-west direction. They become smaller in size as they reach the North Pole and the South Pole. Latitudes helps us locate places on the map. They also help us to understand the climate of a place. The 5 important lines of latitude are the following. The Arctic Circle 66° north. The Tropic of Cancer 23° north in the northern hemisphere. The equator 0°. The Tropic of Capricorn 23° south in the southern hemisphere. The Antarctic Circle 66° south. The climatic zones. Temperature in different parts of the earth varies on the basis of this variation in temperature. The earth has been divided into various climatic or temperature or heat zones. The torrid zone. The torrid or the tropical zone is located on both sides of the equator between the tropics. It is the hottest part of the earth. The sun's rays fall vertically on these areas. Different heat zones of the world. The temperature zones. This area is located between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. It has a moderate type of climate. The frigid or polar zones. These areas lie around the North Pole within the Arctic Circle and around the South Pole within the Antarctic Circle. This zone is very cold. Discuss. The frigid zones are very cold. Can you tell why? Think and answer. Meridians or longitudes. Lines of longitude are known as meridians. They are imaginary lines that run in a north-south direction, crossing the equator at right angles. The distance between longitudes is greater at the equator. This distance narrows as the move towards the poles and coverage at the poles at 0 degree. There are 360 meridians or lines of longitude. All meridians are of equal length. The meridian at 0 degree is called the prime meridian. This is also named as the Greenwich meridian, as it passes through a place called Greenwich in London. Starting from the prime meridian, the other meridians are marked 1 to 180 degree to the east and 1 to 180 degree to the west. The meridians at 180 degree east and 180 degree west are one and the same meridian. The international date line lies on this meridian. Longitudes are semicircles that coverage at the poles. If the two opposite longitudes are joined, they form a great circle. The lines of longitude help us in calculating time at different places. All the 360 meridians of longitude come directly under the sun once in 24 hours. All the places located on the same meridian will have the same local time. Places that are located east or west of the meridian will have different times. Local time of a place is when the sun is exactly above that meridian. The time calculated by the position of the sun at noon of a particular place is called the local mean time. The standard meridian is the local time of particular meridian which is adopted for the whole country. India's standard meridian is the one at 82.5 degree east. Think and answer. Would it have been easy to locate a place on the earth if only the longitudes were known and not the latitudes? Time zones. The earth is divided into 24 time zones. This is because the earth takes 24 hours or one full day to spin once around its axis. As the earth rotates, it brings sunlight to some parts and darkness to the other parts. Thus, we experience day and night. If we had one single time zone, sunset would be night in some places, but would be morning, noon, or evening in other places. Since different parts of the earth's surface experience sunrise and sunset at different times, we need different time zones. As you learned earlier, the 0 degree meridian is the Greenwich meridian. The time at Greenwich is called the Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. As one moves eastwards from Greenwich, every 15-degree section or time zone is 1 hour later than GMT. As one moves westwards from Greenwich, every 15-degree section or time zone is 1 hour earlier than GMT. Thus, the time zones make it easy for us to know and compare time anywhere on the earth. Vocabulary: converge, to come from different directions to reach the same point. Representation, to be a sign or symbol of something. Spherical, round like a ball. Zone, an area that has an important or typical feature. Locating places on the earth. Latitudes, the Arctic Circle, the Tropic of Cancer. The Equator, the Tropic of Capricorn. The Antarctic Circle. Climatic zones, the torrid zone, the temperature zone, the frigid zones. Longitudes, prime meridian, standard meridian, Greenwich Mean Time, time zones. Evaluation: explain the parallels of latitude and lines of longitude. Name 5 important parallels of latitude. Explain the term prime meridian. Why do we need time zones? Theme: the Earth, its geographical features. Weather and climate. Lesson objectives: students will be able to differentiate between weather and climate, be aware of climate change and its impact on the environment. Taking off, make observations on the weather using your senses. Have you felt a cool breeze against your face? Have you felt sweat trickling down your neck during a hot, sunny afternoon? Do you like a smell of wet earth and feel of wet grass? What kind of weather do you like? Sunny, rainy, cloudy, windy, why? Weather. Weather tells us about the day-to-day temperature and precipitation conditions. It is the state of the atmosphere at a given time and place over a short period of time. Weather can change within a short span of minutes, hours, or a single day. The components of weather are wind, precipitation, temperature, sunshine, clouds, snow, and humidity. Weather forecast. We come to know what the weather is going to be through weather forecasts. For example, today will be a hot day, but it will rain in the afternoon. Weather forecast. Discuss and learn. How does the weather forecast affect your day? What are the problems that you foresee on a rainy day in your city? Climate. Climate is the average weather conditions or long-term pattern of weather in a region. Climate refers to a seasons. Climate predictions take a long-term view. It tells us how climate change will affect people all over the world. Climate change affects our health and impacts upon the ecosystem. It may reduce the size of forests, crop yields affect, and the water bodies adversely. This is why it is important to study climate. The essential difference between weather and climate is the measure of time. Did you know? The term monsoon is derived from the Arabic word mausam, which means season. Some factors that affect climate. As we move from one place to another, we come across different types of climates. Why does the climate change from place to place? This change of climate depends upon many factors. Some of the factors that determine the climate of a place are as follows: latitude, distance from the sea; altitude, ocean currents; direction of winds. Latitude. The latitude of a place tells us the distance of the place from the equator. As you have already learned in the previous classes, the places near the equator receive more sunlight than anywhere else on the earth. The rays of the sun fall vertically over the equator. As we move towards the poles, the rays of the sun slant and cover a large area. Thus, places near the equator are hotter than those away from the equator. Distance from the sea. Study the map of India. Locate Mumbai, Delhi, Chandigarh. Find out the latitude of each place. You will find that Mumbai is nearer to the equator than Delhi or Chandigarh. So Mumbai should be warmer than either Delhi or Chandigarh. Actually, Mumbai never experiences very hot or very cold climatic conditions. This is because it is situated on the coast during daytime. The land heats up fast. The warm air above the land rises up and the cool air from the sea is drawn in. This is called sea breeze. During night time, the sea cools slowly while the land cools fast. The warm air above the sea rises up and cool air from the land rushes towards the sea. This is called land breeze. Thus, the temperature of places situated on the coast never becomes too high or too low. Altitude. Altitude is the highest of a place above the sea level. It has a major impact on the climate of place. As we go higher above the sea level, it becomes cooler. We know that Darjeeling is cooler than Siliguri, or Mussoorie is cooler than Dehradun. This is because both Darjeeling and Mussoorie are situated at higher altitudes than Siliguri and Dehradun respectively. Ocean currents. There are two kinds of ocean currents, warm and cold. Warm ocean currents increase the temperature of the surrounding coastal areas. Similarly, cold ocean currents reduce the temperature of surrounding coastal areas. The presence of ocean currents does not allow the temperatures of the coastal regions to reach extremes. Direction of winds. The temperature and the humidity of a place is affected by the winds blowing through it. For example, the coastal areas are often humid because of the moisture-laden winds blowing from the sea. Similarly, the hot and dry winds, called Loo, blowing from the hot desert of Rajasthan affects the entire Indo-Gangetic plain during the summer methods. Do and learn. Use reference books or the internet to find out the climate of any place of your choice. Write down the important points to prepare a comprehensive case study. Think and answer. Why is Shimla cooler than Chennai? Vocabulary. Ecosystem. A biological system in which the plants and animals interact among themselves and their physical environment. Forecast. A statement about what is likely to happen based on available information and usually relating to the weather, business or the economy. Precipitation. Rainfall or snowfall. Prediction, a statement about what will happen in the future or the process of making such a statement. Refer, to be about something. Weather and climate. Weather, day-to-day temperature and precipitation. Weather forecast. Climate, seasons. Evaluation, what is the essential difference between weather and climate? Why is the study of climate change important? How does the latitude of a place affect its climate? Which city will have moderate temperature throughout the year? Goa or Delhi? State reasons for your answer. Explain sea breeze. Life skills, analysis and critical thinking. Make a video of the daily weather forecast from different newspapers for a week. How accurate are the weather forecasts? Compare and find out which newspaper's weather forecast is the most accurate. Integration with science and language. Find out the reasons for the following and write an informative paragraph. Why have summer months increased in Delhi over the years? Thank you very much. Bye. See you again.